Knowledge without absolute execution is merely intellectual entertainment. We have derived the planetary mathematics of the 32nd octave. We mapped out the neurotransmitter cascade that suppresses your amygdala, and we engineered the acoustic defense shield for your physical workspace. But a blueprint is useless if you do not know how to run the engine. Most high performers fail not because they lack information, but because they try to force generic habits into a fragmented schedule. You cannot build a sovereign legacy using chaotic, uncalibrated daily systems. If you want to completely dominate your industry, maximize your cognitive capital, and maintain perfect neurochemical stability over a lifetime, you must systemize your day down to the exact frequency. This is the definitive deployment manual. In this final movement of the cosmic resonance protocol, we strip away all theory and give you the exact operational parameters. We will detail the precise timing metrics, the hardware standards, and the integration windows required to turn this planetary frequency into an automated sovereign execution matrix for your entire life. To integrate 136.1 Hz into your life with maximum biological compounding, you must deploy it across 3 precise operational windows. Window 1 is the Cerebral boot protocol. This occurs within the first 20 minutes of waking. As your brain transitions from sleep state to conscious awareness, your neural pathways are fluid and highly susceptible to environmental data. Instead of corrupting your mind by checking digital feeds or high-entropy notifications, expose your auditory pathway to a pure 136.1 Hz wave for exactly 12 minutes. This mechanically forces your system out of sleep inertia, flattens waking cortisol spikes, and boots up your prefrontal cortex in a state of absolute strategic alignment. Window 2 is the Meridian peak. This is your high-stakes deep work window, usually tracking between 2 to 4 hours after your waking cycle. When you sit down to execute complex financial modeling, advanced architecture, or deep creative strategy, broadcast this frequency as a continuous spatial ambient track at a baseline of 40 decibels. As established in our spatial engineering protocol, this creates an active cognitive shield, preventing your attention from fracturing and extending your deep focus duration by up to 200%. Window 3 is the neural shutdown protocol. This runs exactly 45 minutes before sleep. Your brain waves must downregulate from the day's high-frequency analytical states into deep restorative delta waves. Playing the 30-second planetary octave during this window activates the immediate release of gamma-aminobutyric acid. This silences the persistent internal dialogue of your mind, lowers your resting heart rate, and ensures that your sleep architecture is optimized for complete cellular recovery and systemic longevity. Stop raw dogging your morning with high-stress digital notifications. If you want absolute focus, you must calibrate your clock. Deploy the 136.1 Hz frequency in 3 precise windows. 12 minutes right after waking to clear out sleep inertia, continuous ambient playback during your high-stakes deep work to block environmental distractions, and 45 minutes before bed to flood your brain with neural noise-canceling chemistry. You aren't lacking focus, you are lacking systemic routine. Fix your timeline, and your biology will automatically follow the math. We must now establish a strict directive on signal integrity. Most people fail to realize that the quality of the delivery mechanism determines the outcome of the biological reset. If you attempt to execute this protocol using low-grade, highly compressed MP3 audio files streamed through cheap consumer hardware, you are wasting your time. Highly compressed files compress and shear off the subtle microharmonics of the audio signal. To the human ear, it may sound similar, but to your neural networks and your cellular fluids, the mathematical perfection of the wave is completely broken. It loses its geometric entrainment capacity. To achieve absolute empirical results, you must look for lossless, uncompressed digital audio formats, such as WAV or FLAC files. Furthermore, your playback hardware must be capable of rendering a pure, non-distorted, low-frequency sine wave down to the decimal point. Use high-fidelity open-back monitoring headphones or omnidirectional studio monitors that do not artificially color or boost the bass frequencies. You are not listening to commercial music for emotional stimulation. You are ingesting a precision-engineered mathematical medical constant. Treat the signal with the exact same purity you would demand from high-grade pharmaceutical capital. Most of the frequency tracks you listen to online are completely fake or corrupted by digital compression. When you stream a compressed MP3 file through cheap headphones, the algorithm literally cuts out the microscopic harmonic data to save file space. Your ear can't tell, but your brain cells can. The mathematical structure is gone, and so is the biological reset. If you want real corporate-level focus, stop using low-grade consumer audio. Demand lossless, uncompressed signals and precision hardware. Treat your acoustic inputs like high-grade medicine. We have now laid out the complete public architectural framework of the cosmic resonance protocol, from astronomical mathematics to chemical cascades, and day-to-day deployment manuals. You possess the precise infrastructure to override environmental entropy. But remember, this open protocol is merely the foundational template. It is designed to establish systemic baseline stabilization across a broad human spectrum. However, every individual human brain possesses a highly distinct, deeply unique neural imprint. The exact ways your specific nervous system reacts to acoustic pressure depends on your personal cognitive baseline, your daily metabolic load, and your distinct genetic stress markers. While this public system stabilizes your core, true systemic dominance requires advanced, hyper-customized implementation. For the select few who demand absolute, uncompromised optimization, there exists a deeper layer of engineering, a closed-door methodology that builds tailored individual acoustic toolkits, links frequency calibration directly with specific neuroperformance tasks, and designs customized cognitive architectures for high-stakes execution. This is not for the masses who consume superficial data. It is for the sovereign elite who refuse to settle for baseline performance and demand absolute control over their cognitive capital. The public foundation is yours, but the personalized master blueprint is an entirely different level of execution. The master loop is now completely secure. You no longer look at reality as a collection of chaotic events. You recognize it for what it truly is, an uncompromised field of pure mathematical harmony. You have the tools, you have the science, you have the manual. The era of digital exhaustion, fragmented focus, and cognitive surrender is officially over for your system. Step into your environment with the absolute certainty of a calibrated sovereign thinker. We have completed the 4 foundational phases of the cosmic resonance protocol. The matrix is live. The blueprint is in your hands. Execute with precision, command your biology, and align your reality with the constant of the cosmos. If your intellect demands absolute clarity in a world of endless noise, look no further. Stay anchored to this platform. The foundational alignment is done. The era of mastery has officially begun.